Imagine carrying a weight so heavy it crushes your chances before you even begin. That weight? Debt. The word alone makes most break into a cold sweat, especially those sitting at the helm of companies, carefully balancing dreams against reality. But here's the raw, unfiltered truth nobody tells you. Private equity lives and breathes on leverage because that pressure, yes, debt, is the sharpest tool to slice through mediocrity, to shatter limitations, to ignite real growth. It's uncomfortable, it feels risky, and for many, it's terrifying. Yet beneath every number that screams burden, there's a secret weapon, a pathway that turns chains into wings. Most leaders, investors, and managers wrestle with the same demons every day. How to grow faster, how to multiply value, how to beat competition, how to deliver on impossible expectations. The old ways, the slow climb, the cautious steps don't cut it anymore. Growth demands boldness, a level of strategic aggression that often feels reckless unless you understand the power at work. And leverage, that intense, calculated use of borrowed money, is the cornerstone. It's what untaps hidden potential locked within businesses that others overlook. But leverage isn't just about piling on debt. It's a mindset, a disciplined obsession with crafting the optimum structure to accelerate value creation without falling prey to ruin. When wielded expertly, it transforms companies into unstoppable engines, from struggling to thriving, from stagnant to explosive. It forces clarity, sharpens focus, and demands excellence in execution. This isn't about reckless borrowing for the sake of it. It's about harnessing a relentless pressure that fractures complacency and brings out the boldest versions of leadership and performance. Feel that anxiety building? That urgent pulse racing through every cell when thinking about layered debt? Good. That's awareness. But now consider this. Every great private equity success story isn't a magic trick. It's a meticulous orchestration of how debt is structured, serviced, and ultimately conquered. The obsession with leverage comes from knowing this battle inside out. Debt forces a business to live on the edge, to question everything, to unlearn old habits that no longer serve growth. It's an unforgiving spotlight on inefficiencies. It demands better decisions, sharper cuts, smarter investments, and relentless focus on what truly drives value. Look around. Traditional companies cling to cash, hoard resources, and grow like glaciers, slow, predictable, but inevitably stagnant. Private equity dares to throw all that away. They see debt not as a curse, but as rocket fuel. When timed and sized just right, leverage compresses the growth cycle. They extract more value faster, pushing companies beyond their comfort zones, salvaging underperformance, and rewriting their narratives. And in that sacred dance with debt, they don't just bet on a company, they bet on transformation. You might be thinking, easy for them to say. What about the risk? The toxic love affair with leverage can destroy companies overnight. Absolutely. This is not some reckless gambler's game. The obsession is not blind. It's brutally calculated. Every dollar borrowed, every covenant signed, every interest payment planned is done with surgical precision. The debt doesn't become a burden. It becomes the engine's oil, keeping every mechanism running smoothly and efficiently. The smartest players understand debt as a force multiplier when paired with rigorous operational improvements, crystal clear strategic focus, and relentless execution. And here lies a revelation for every leader and investor watching. If leverage frightens you, if debt feels like a trap, it's often because the business beneath is not ready, not lean enough, or lacks the clarity needed to harness that power. Private equity obsessively cuts fat, retools management, sharpens go-to-market strategies, and aligns incentives like no one else, because dead weight and leverage don't mix. The secret in this obsession is not about loading debt onto a business. It's about fitting the business to survive and thrive under that pressure. It's a transformation of mindset and operation, not just finance. This obsession with leverage is also a rebellion against the slow-moving, complacent, and safe. Private equity's obsession reflects a brutal truth. Growth and value don't wait for permission. They are not kind to those who cling to comfort, who fear the edge, who avoid the fight. Debt, in this sense, is a call to arms against inefficiency, passivity, and fear. It's a relentless reminder that nothing great comes without risk, and that all progress comes from those who dare to challenge status quo and to tear down the illusion of safe. Now imagine what this means for you and the businesses you lead or invest in. The hesitation, the second guessing, the waiting for perfect conditions, they are the real shackles. When the obsession with leverage is internalized, it forces you and your teams to strip down every excuse, confront every blind spot, and push the boundaries of what seem possible. It's about taking control, owning every risk, every decision, every outcome with eyes wide open. That clarity turns what feels like chaos into a powerful, precise force to move forward. Let's get concrete. How do the sharpest private equity players actually harness this obsession? Step 1, radical honesty about the business. No fluff, no spin. They dissect every cost center, revenue stream, and workflow with ruthless clarity. What's working? What's bleeding? What can be optimized or eliminated? This surgical honesty reveals the true capacity to carry debt, and crucially, to generate returns that exceed the cost of debt. Step 2, relentless focus on cash flow. Debt must be paid, interest must be serviced, so the business model must produce steady, predictable cash streams. It's not about paper profits or projections. It's about cold, hard cash in hand. Step 3, alignment of all stakeholders. Investors, management, lenders, everyone must share an unshakable commitment to the turnaround or growth plan. Leverage works only when every piece locks into the same machine driven by urgency, discipline, and transparency. Step 4, operational transformation. This is the essence, the obsession with improving how the business runs, how teams perform, how products reach market, and how costs are managed. Without this, leverage is a deadly trap. With this focus, it becomes a catalyst for stratospheric gains. And what about the illusion that leaders must play it safe, avoid risk, protect their legacy? Here's the unvarnished truth. Protecting the status quo is the surest path to irrelevance. In today's world, waiting breeds stagnation. Businesses without the courage to embrace leverage and the growth pressure it brings will be left behind, outpaced by more aggressive, passionate challengers who understand that to create exceptional value, they must first embrace exceptional challenge. Leverage is the crucible that forges the exceptional from the ordinary, the pressure that forces new levels of thinking, planning, and acting. It's no accident that private equity is obsessed with it, because it carves out the businesses that can not only handle pressure, but use it to find their fullest expression of strength. This obsession is a hyper-focus on transformation, on turning obstacles into stepping stones, on converting the world's chaos into opportunity. Still feeling that buzz? That energy swelling inside? That's good. It means you're awakening to a reality most never dare face. Here's the real challenge. Obsession with leverage isn't about squeezing every last dollar. It's about choosing the right battles, the right structures, the right partnerships. It's about thoughtful, deliberate, relentless pursuit of growth on your terms, without compromise, without hesitation, without apology. So, what does it mean for you, whether as a CEO scrambling to unlock growth, a portfolio manager eyeing your next move, or an investor seeking explosive returns? It means demand more from every part of your business. Scrutinize not only balance sheets, but cultures, processes, and leadership. Question every assumption, every legacy habit, that's how we've always done it. Demand cash flow discipline like your life depends on it, because with leverage, it does. Build a team that thrives under pressure, that fights for excellence daily, not just through slogans, but through relentless action. And above all, cultivate a mindset that sees risk not as a threat, but as the furnace where untapped potential is melted and molded into greatness. The obsession with leverage strips away illusions. It exposes who can and who cannot handle the heat. It rewards those who are ready to step up and take ownership. It punishes the complacent and hesitant. But most importantly, it frees the business and leaders from the lethargy of false security and mediocre growth. This is the raw power hidden inside the obsession, the power to create, transform, and transcend. Think about the world you want to shape as a leader, investor, or professional. Not a world of glacial growth or safe mediocrity, but a world where barriers are meant to be broken, where pressure is embraced as fuel, where every challenge is an invitation to become better, faster, stronger. Private equity's obsession with leverage is the mirror reflecting that brutal, exhilarating reality. The question is, will you look? Your next move demands courage. It demands obsession. Not with comfort, not with consensus, but with transformation. Every second wasted doubting this is a second loss to the slow death of potential. So lean into this obsession. Let it wake you from the comfortable stupor of good enough. Let it compel you to strip down your business, your assumptions, your fears, and build something new, something bold, something unstoppable. Because at the end of the day, leverage is not just a financial tool. It's a mindset, a challenge, a forge where only the exceptional survive and thrive. The obsession is right. The pressure is necessary. The payoff is extraordinary. And for those who dare to take this path, the world doesn't just open up. It explodes with possibilities beyond anything most can imagine. This is the fire that fuels private equity. This is the relentless engine of value creation. This is the obsession you must understand, master, and wield. Because your future, your company, your portfolio, it all depends on it. And the world is waiting for those who will burn brighter than the rest.